Hi, my name is Jeff Clark, and I'm about to do something crazy. If it works, that's great news for you. And if it doesn't, well, it'll be interesting to see me navigate some awkward situations. But I hope that doesn't happen, because today I'm going to take you on a tour of downtown Miami while I run a couple of errands. There's a handful of things that I need to buy urgently, which is why you might find it strange that I just handed all of my cash to a guy here at the marina. And I cut up my credit cards too. So as you can see, my wallet is completely empty. So how am I supposed to pay for everything today? Well, I have something more interesting in mind. It involves my cell phone and this debit card that's linked to my brokerage account. But let me be clear, I'm not going to be using any of the balance in my account to pay for my outings today. All of the money that I need will come from a special technique that I've been using for decades to make extra income in the stock market. Not enough Americans know about it, but you'll get to see how it works on the fly now. So let's get started. Come on with me. I'm about to head into my local coffee shop so I can kick off this day with some caffeine. But before I go inside, I need to make some money from the markets to pay for my coffee. All I need to do is use this extra income technique in my brokerage account. And since we're getting coffee, I figure, why not use Starbucks stock? On the right, you can see my brokerage account. I blurred out a few things for my privacy. Also, I want to make it clear that this is for educational purposes only, so don't make this transaction. Besides, by the time you see this, it's not going to be available anyway. Now watch closely, because if this goes well, we should see cash appear in my account right up front. So I just made $175 from financial markets. That's pretty cool, right? With that much, I have more than enough to pay for coffee today. Now, I didn't trade any stock and I didn't buy any options either. And this wasn't some sort of video editing technique or some kind of special AI, but I know you might still be skeptical. So to prove it to you that this extra income technique works, let's see if I can pay for my coffee. Well, I got my coffee and it cost me $5 for the coffee and another $30 for the bag, which it's a little bit pricier than most places, but that's okay. I was able to pay for it with the money I made from the stock market today. You can also see here that about $40 was pulled from my account. Now, how cool is that? This extra income technique worked flawlessly. You saw that it can make money from the markets right away. Now, obviously, it's great for getting coffee, but you can use it to make extra cash to help pay for things like your power bill, your internet bill, or the landscaper. I'll even show you later that I taught my son how to do this to help him pay for brand new tires for his car. And that's why I've been calling this extra income technique the bill payer. Now, the bill payer worked great to pay for my coffee, but I still have a few more things to pick up today. First things first, I need to put some gas in my car. So time to see if it works at the pump too. Check out the prices at the pump today. I mean, we're looking at $4.99 a gallon. So filling up could, I don't know, easily cost me $50 or more, but I'm not worried. In just a few minutes here, I should have enough cash to fill up. I'll type in the ticker symbol for Chevron. It's CVX. I just type that into my brokerage account. And then after finishing up this unique transaction, I should have the upfront money ready to spend in my account. And there it is. Just like that, another $186 in my account. That should be more than enough to fill up the tank. And the cool part is, how long did that take? Not long at all, right? If you have a smartphone and a brokerage account, you can do this too. But let's make sure this works. Check it out. I just put a little under $8 worth of gas in the car. Now, if this worked, I should have $8 less in my account. Let's take a look. You can see it right there. $8 for my account at the Chevron station. The bill payer worked perfectly again. My tank is full, and now we're ready to head out to the mall. I need to pick up something there urgently. I'm here at the Apple store because I need to get a charger for my phone. Mine just completely stopped working. And after checking online, it looks like, a new one's going to cost me about $50. That's not exactly cheap for what's essentially just a little cable, right? But this shouldn't be a problem. Now let's make some extra income from the markets. Now I'm at the Apple store, so let's use Apple stock. Ticker symbol is AAPL. This technique works for pretty much any stock you can think of. But there's something satisfying about using a company's stock to pay for their own products. Just a few more taps here. And just like that, I added an upfront $235 to the account. Now that should be plenty to get the phone charger and then have a little bit extra, even with Apple's ridiculously expensive prices. It's time to go buy that charger. And just like that, problem solved. You know, this kind of urgent expense can really throw you off. You know, it's just a phone charger today, but tomorrow, who knows? It could be the car acting up or something around the house deciding that it's had enough. The nice thing is, you can use this bill payer strategy to help you take care of any of that. You can see that right here. There's the $235 that I deposited to my brokerage account to pay for the charger. And I still have money left over from the transaction on Apple stock. So what can I do with that extra cash? I mean, really, once the upfront money is in your account, it's yours to spend how you want. I mean, maybe you would have held on to the extra money, or maybe you would have put it towards building your nest egg, or maybe treat yourself a little bit. That's what I'm about to do. Have you ever sat down in a restaurant and knew that the bill was going to be big? Well, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. And the menu confirms it. You know, the New York strip costs $69. But this is all part of the test, right? So I'm going to get the New York strip. All right, looks good. Let's hope it tastes like a $69 steak. So looks like I'm on the hook for about 80 bucks, and that's before leaving the tip. Now it's a good thing I know exactly how to pick up the tab. This time, we're going to use Texas Roadhouse stock to get the money to pay for this meal. So basically we're using one steakhouse to pay for the dining at another steakhouse. Now their ticker is TXRH, which I'll take in here. Just a few more taps here to the finish, and there it is. Without waiting long, I should have the money right in my account. And there it is, about 430 bucks added to my account. Now, that's more than enough to cover my meal, and I wouldn't even have to think twice about it. But I should probably wait to celebrate. You know, I still have to make sure that the payment actually goes through. I just kind of realized that if this doesn't work, I might wind up scrubbing dishes until midnight. Fingers crossed. Well, that worked like a charm. Check it out right here. Basically, just like that, about a $215 lunch paid for using nothing but my phone, this blue card, and the bill payer technique. I'm almost ready to head home, but I need to make one last stop. You know, my wife just texted me. Apparently, we're going to a dinner party tonight. So she says, we need to bring a gift. Can you pick up a nice bottle of wine before you come home? That's fine by me. That means we've got another chance to make some upfront money today. All right, well, check out this wine selection. Now, my wife has a great taste for wine, so I can't go for the cheap bottle. I mean, she'd know immediately. But I'm also not going to get an overpriced bottle either. This one looks pretty good. In fact, this one is perfect for a dinner party without breaking the bank. Now let's make some money so I can pay for this. This time, let's use InBev. Ticker symbol is BUD. They're one of the largest beer, wine, and liquor brands around the world. So it seems fitting to use their stock to make the money for our purchase today. One last time, let's make this transaction. And we'll wait just a second for the money to appear. And there it is. Check it out. There's another $185 added to my account. No problems there. Let's go pay for this and get out of here. Well, mission accomplished. And I think my wife is going to be happy with what I picked out. And the price wasn't bad either. It came out to just over $175 with tax. And what's even better, just like everything today, I paid for it with the cash I made from the stock market today. And as you've been able to see, it's been a pretty profitable day for me. But I'm not done yet, because I want to give you the details on how you could make extra income starting today. I think you're going to be surprised at the kind of money you can make, but I can't show it to you at this wine store. It'll be much easier if I head back home. So I'll see you back at my place. Thank you for joining me today. I had a lot of fun and I did pretty well for myself. I'm looking at my brokerage account right here, and it looks like I added a little more than $1,200 to my account just today. Now, I still have one step left to close out these transactions that I'll explain to you in a moment. But for now, I want to note that if you decide to give this extra income technique a try, I can't promise that you're going to make as much money as I did today. Like any investment, the amount of money you can make depends on how much you invest and the outcome of the trade. I'll explain that too, more in just a bit. The bill payer technique is no different. I was able to make a little over $1,200 today while running through the streets of Miami, but you could make even more and from the comfort of your own home, and it's much easier that way. All you really need is a smartphone and a brokerage account, and some time to make these market transactions. Because like I mentioned earlier, this isn't magic money coming out of thin air. We're talking about an overlooked but powerful investment that takes advantage of almost every major stock you can think of. And no, we're not buying dividend-paying stocks or day trading or any special kind of crypto. We're not taking out a loan either. And besides, all of those strategies take much longer. You saw it today. I received the money in my account up front. No waiting. And that can come as a shock to a lot of folks, especially if you're used to buy and hold investing that can sometimes take years to cash out. So yes, the bill payer technique is different, but once you give this technique a try, I'm certain that you're going to like it. It might even become your favorite way to make money from the markets. That's what happened to me. I found out about it when I was about 19 years old, and I've never looked back. Now, more than 4 decades later, I still put this extra income technique to work. But you don't need to be a 40-year pro to get started today. There's no special skills to learn. There's no complex formulas to memorize. No need to spend hours staring at charts and indicators. Just ask my son how straightforward it is to get started. Not too long ago, I taught him how to use the bill payer technique. And within just a few minutes, I walked him through how it works. And then this happened. He was able to add over $400 to his account up front. And that was enough to buy his new tires that he desperately needed. No need to throw the expense on his credit card, no need to dip into his savings, and most importantly, no need to ask Dad for a bailout. Now that's great for my son, but I'm not keeping the bill payer a family secret. In just a few minutes, you'll find out how to make extra upfront cash with this technique as well. From what you've seen today, it's clear this could help you cover an unexpected expense, put a dent in your mortgage, or let you pick up a nice meal from time to time. But what I want to make clear, despite the name, the bill payer isn't just about making extra upfront cash to pay your bills. Really, that's barely scratching the surface of what you can do with it. Because there's no rule that says, the $1,200 I made today is just a one-time deal. If I wanted to, I could do this every month. Heck, I could do it every week. And you could too, without having to run through the streets of Miami. And while there are no guarantees that you'd make the same amount of profit as I did today, this is an investment in an ever-changing market after all, I think you'll agree that with a straightforward technique, while it does involve some risk, you could get a nice second income stream. One that could grow even bigger over time, without taking on a second job or heading back to work, without putting your savings away into dividend-paying stocks that pay out every few months, and without having to draw down on your nest egg to cover ever-growing expenses. And no, with this technique, you're not going to turn into an overnight millionaire, but I don't think you'll mind the steady pace. Because with the chance to get upfront cash on your own terms, you'll gain something a lot of folks are desperate for right now: financial peace of mind. Because it's safe to say, we're living in some incredibly uncertain times. Which has made the stock market more volatile than ever. And what's worse, now that the world economic order is shifting, with nobody really knowing how it's going to shake out, the current chaos could continue to rattle the markets for much longer than anyone thinks. And that terrifies the normal buy and hold crowd. And it can bring up some uncomfortable questions, like, what happens if stocks keep falling? Will I have enough to retire? And how long will my savings last? But do me a favor, don't get caught up in the uncertainty. It's only going to make you want to bury your head in the sand. Or worse, make an emotional decision that bites you down the line. Because the reality is, All of the market chaos doesn't have to keep you up at night. In fact, quite the opposite. It could actually be one of the best money-making opportunities of our lifetimes. That all comes down to this simple fact about the bill payer. The more the stock market shakes, the more it rattles and rolls, the more money you can make. We can go over advanced formulas and decades of historical market data that shows why that's so. But there's no need to get deep into the weeds, when a picture says 1,000 words. Just take a look at this chart of the S&P 500 from 2022. That was a terrible year for the stock market, the worst since 2008. And as I'm sure you remember, there was plenty of movement in the market. But while traditional investors were watching their retirement accounts shrink by the day, with the bill payer, those market gyrations turned into opportunities for folks that follow my work to make cash up front, like $410 on Newmont, $720 on Paramount, and even $750 on Scott's Miracle-Gro. I like knowing that I have the chance to make as much as $750 when the markets are tanking, and I bet you do too. It's the ultimate safety net to turn the market chaos that we're seeing right now into upfront cash. And it's all thanks to the ultimate investment hiding in plain sight. Unfortunately, most people walk right past this opportunity every day, completely unaware of what they're missing. And that blind spot is costing them the chance at extra income. Like I mentioned before, this has nothing to do with dividend stocks, nothing to do with day trading, crypto, or taking out a loan. So what's powering the bill payer technique behind the scenes? Plain and simple, it's options. Now that might take you back a bit. Just hearing the word options sometimes freaks most people out. Because the unfortunate truth is, most people use options to gamble on the stock market. But I don't trade options like most people. A long time ago, I figured out how to make upfront income with options while reducing my risk. In fact, I built my career on it. For 20 years, I owned a money management firm that specialized in trading options. My clients were CEOs, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists who had high expectations for their investments with me. But these well-heeled investors gladly entrusted me with their wealth because it didn't matter if we were in a soaring bull market or in a painful bear market. My reduced risk approach delivered, and it's continued to deliver for readers following my work. Take it from Jerry R. With just $170,000 left in his portfolio at the 2008 lows, he used my techniques to help him rebuild to $480,000 when others were still licking their wounds. So I hope you can see that you don't need to be a reckless gunslinger to make great money with options. But you don't have to take it from me. Just ask Warren Buffett. He's the ultimate buy and hold investor, and he's famous for avoiding risk. He's even on the record saying, if it has risk, we just don't go ahead. But he's also no stranger to options. In fact, he made over $7 million on options trading Coca-Cola. So it makes sense why Barron's ran a headline saying, "Be like Warren Buffett. Use this option strategy." But if Uncle Warren doesn't have you convinced that options can come with reduced risk, then maybe take it from Uncle Sam. Of course, I'm talking about the U.S. government, which you may know highly regulates everything you can hold in your retirement account. Did you know that the law discourages holding alternative income investments like art, commodities, and gold in your IRA? It's true. But guess what the U.S. government explicitly permits in your retirement account? Options. Now, when one of the world's greatest investors and when the federal government both validate options trading, maybe it's time to reconsider what you've heard about options, especially when they could put extra upfront cash in your account right away, starting today even. But before you get started, I want you to be doubly sure that you know what you're getting into with the bill payer technique. Remember, this is still an investment strategy. It's not a magic money tree. You'll need to get approval in your brokerage account before you can start trading options. And that can be done in a very straightforward. It's simple as filling out a form. And just like any investment, there's still the chance that you could lose money. So I want to be clear. If you're struggling to pay for retirement, or if you don't have much saved up at all, this probably isn't suitable for you. It's best suited for folks who already have a nest egg set aside. But you don't need to be a millionaire to get started either. Far from it. If you have $10,000, you're good to go. Even better if you have $25,000. because in certain circumstances, you might actually have to buy 100 shares of the company per contract, and you'll need cash on hand to do so. My suggestion, if you already have a brokerage account, you can set aside some of the money for just trading options and call it your peace of mind fund. I mean, that's a fitting name because that's exactly what options could help you achieve. Your first taste could come when you pay for a bill with the extra upfront cash you made straight from the markets. But you might find it when you say yes to dinner with old friends without worrying about, who's going to pick up the final tab, or having the means at your fingertips to help a family member who might be in a tight spot without putting yourself in one. But that's just the beginning. What about peace of mind from constantly wondering if you're saving enough for retirement? Or peace of mind from worrying that your nest egg will truly last through the golden years? That's the bigger, bolder vision that I have for you. To help you get started today, I put together a special report that details how to make extra income with the bill payer technique. It's called Bills Paid: How to Make Extra Upfront Income with One Simple Options Technique. Inside, you'll discover step-by-step instructions to get started right away. How to set up your brokerage account properly. This is crucial. The exact criteria I use to identify the perfect options for the bill payer. And my personal checklist for knowing when to execute these trades for maximum profit potential. And don't worry if you've never traded options before. Everything is explained in plain, easy to understand English. There's no Wall Street jargon, no confusing formulas, just the same straightforward approach I've been using for over 40 years. In short, this special report distills 4 decades of my personal options trading experience into the absolute must-know information in one easy-to-read special report. In fact, if I had to start all over again from scratch today, this is exactly what I'd use. It's the resource I wish somebody had handed to me when I was a 19-year-old kid just starting out. I'll show you exactly how to claim your copy in just a moment. Plus, I have another surprise in store that could show you how to have even more extra income headed your way. But first, I need you to understand something crucial. This bill payer isn't the only way to generate income with options, and I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't share the full picture. Because plain and simple, you could be leaving thousands of dollars on the table every month. I don't know about you, but in today's economy, I don't want to let money slip through my fingers. And I'm guessing you probably feel the same. So let me share with you 2 more critical income strategies you need in your arsenal right now. Starting with a technique I call the profit booster. Its big claim to fame? It gives you the chance to take small stock movements and turn them into big options profits. Take, for example, these profit booster trades that I recommended to a small group of people. The first one's on the fast food stock, Yum China. When I made the recommendation, the stock price climbed 4% in just 11 days. Now, a win's a win, but the profit booster trade on Yum China didn't go up 4% or 40%. It soared 227% in just 11 days. That's nearly 54 times better than the stock trade. And that's impressive on a stock that's going up. But what about doubling your money when stocks are crashing through the floor? That's exactly what happened on this profit booster trade on a tech sector ETF called XLK. While the stock went on a 4% slide, the profit booster went on a 139% tear in just 19 days. Now, what sounds better to you? 4% loss or a 139% gain? It's a silly question, right? But here's what's even more exciting about the profit booster. The harder stocks fall, the bigger your potential profits. In fact, some of the biggest winners of my career came when markets were in free fall back in 2008. So you can see how valuable the profit booster technique is to have at your disposal. That's why I prepared this essential special report for you. It's called Profits Boosted: How to Turn Small Stock Movements into Triple-Digit Winners in as little as a week. Inside, you'll get a complete rundown on how it works and how you could put it to work right away. But in times like these, with uncertainty everywhere you look, I believe in having every possible advantage on your side. That's why I've saved one of my most powerful strategies for last, one that thrives during the exact kind of chaos that we're experiencing right now, because it has to do with a surprising way to play gold. As you may know, gold is the ultimate safe haven asset that's been the cornerstone of wealth preservation for thousands of years. Just look at what's happening right now. Gold prices have surged to all-time highs as global tensions mount and economic uncertainty spreads. But here's the critical problem that most gold investors face. The gold market is a maze of mining stocks, ETFs, physical bullion, futures contracts, and various specialty funds. It can be overwhelming. But after 40 years in the markets, I've discovered there's a better way, a single gold strategy that has outperformed physical gold time and time again by as much as 30-fold, 38-fold, even 45-fold. What makes this strategy so powerful is its simplicity. It requires just one specific gold stock, not a miner, but something much better, and one specific option strategy, all without the headaches of physical ownership or the extreme risk of speculative mining stocks. When gold makes a move, this strategy could turn it into an incredible gain. And right now, with gold breaking out to new all-time highs, the opportunity is unprecedented. So I've documented every detail of this strategy in my special report titled The One Gold Stock Retirement Blueprint. Now together, these 3 reports give you the chance to make extra income in any market condition. And I want to send them to you immediately for free. And here's why. When I left my financial management firm, I faced a serious dilemma. Money management had kept me razor sharp. And with that kind of responsibility, there's really no room for error. Every trade had to be meticulously researched and precisely executed. And I worried that without that pressure, I'd lose my edge. I'd seen it happen with former professional traders that started trading with their own money. Without that daily pressure from clients, their discipline slipped, their analysis got sloppy, and their win rates plummeted. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So I made what many on Wall Street considered kind of an unusual decision, but it's been the secret to my continued success. I started writing detailed option trade reports and sharing them with everyday Americans. Folks who had never had access to the professional analysis that I once reserved for my ultra-wealthy clients. Now, people from all walks of life follow my reports every month, which forces me to do my homework. I simply can't afford to get sloppy when everyday folks are going to be using their hard-earned money to follow my recommendations. And so far, my unusual decision has paid off tremendously. Since leaving my firm, I've delivered over 1,000 winning trade recommendations. And today, I'd like to send my next potential winners to you. You can start receiving my detailed option trade reports in your inbox, along with 3 special bonus reports when you join my research service. It's called Jeff Clark Trader. I didn't bother giving it a fancy name because when it comes down to it, what matters is what you get inside. With Jeff Clark Trader, every month you'll receive my latest trading ideas with my in-depth analysis, written by me. It's not some nameless analyst or an AI chatbot trying to sound like me. This is the same level of analysis I use to provide exclusively to my wealthy clients. But starting today, you can get my recommendations every month. Here's how it works. Every 3rd Thursday of the month, you'll receive my latest trade idea, often more than one, as well as my full analysis on why I picked the trade. Each issue will look like this. Inside, you'll find everything laid out in crystal clear detail, exactly which trades to make with specific ticker symbols and entry prices, precise instructions on when to make your move, the complete rationale behind each recommendation, and my risk assessment and profit potential for every trade. This could be any of the powerful techniques that we've discussed today. Now, I can't guarantee you'll make as much as I did today with every recommendation. Every investment still comes with risk after all. But I can promise you that you'll never be left wondering what to do next. With every trade recommendation, you'll also receive timely updates throughout the month telling you exactly when to get in and when to cash out for maximum profit potential. There's zero guesswork, zero confusion, zero stress about what to do next. In other words, you'll have everything you need to squeeze every last dime of potential profits out of each trade. That's what I would want from a research service, and it's exactly what you're going to get with Jeff Clark Trader. But I want to set you up for success on day one. So when you join today, you're also going to get access to the Options Masterclass. For more than 20 years, I've been showing everyday folks how to master options. I've discovered that the simplest strategies consistently outperform the most sophisticated approaches. In this video series, I strip away all the confusing jargon and the complex formulas to reveal the fundamental principles that matter most, including how to make money in bull and bear markets, how to know exactly when you should buy or sell, how options can be cheaper and less risky than stocks in many cases, my top indicators that I use to identify opportunities in any stock or market, and there's a whole lot more. This video series, along with the special reports, will get you started right away with options. The only thing left is finding the right trades. But I've done all that for you too. When you subscribe to Jeff Clark Trader, you'll get my best options plays I can find delivered directly to your inbox every month. And it won't cost you a fortune. In fact, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the incredibly low price, especially considering everything you get today when you join Jeff Clark Trader. Starting with the 3 special reports: bills paid, profits boosted, and the 1 gold stock retirement blueprint. With the strategies detailed inside, you'll have an edge to make extra income no matter if the markets are moving up, down, or sideways. In addition, you'll also get my Options Masterclass. This quick video series clues you in on everything you need to succeed with options right from the jump. And this is all on top of my research, analysis, and option trade recommendations that I'll send directly to your inbox. The bottom line is, you're getting the complete package to help you make as much extra income as possible over the next 12 months. But here's what's even better. To join Jeff Clark Trader today, you won't have to pay the thousands of dollars my private clients did. You won't even have to pay the standard $199 price, which, frankly, is a bargain on its own. But I've had a pretty incredible day, so I want to offer you an incredible price. Right now, you can join Jeff Clark Trader for the low introductory price of $19. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a better value in the investment research world, especially for a service that could radically transform your finances starting today. To get started, just click the button on your screen to claim this special offer. And don't worry, once you do, you'll be taken to a separate page where you'll be able to review everything that we've talked about today. There's no pressure, no obligation. Plus, you'll discover one more surprise that I have in store for you today. But I want to make sure that you feel 100% confident about your decision. So along with all of the reports, the training, the trade recommendations, you'll also get a 60-day full money-back guarantee. So go ahead and join today. Take a look around, read all of my research, and if you realize that Jeff Clark Trader just isn't the right fit for you, no worries. You can cancel the service within 60 days for a full refund of your subscription cost. You'll even get to keep all the special reports as a thank you for giving it a try. But after what you've heard today, I think you're going to be more than satisfied. So let's get you started. Go ahead, click the button on your screen to claim this special offer. You'll get everything you need to start making extra upfront income with options right away. And that's just the start. You know, in today's market where volatility has become the new normal, what I'm offering isn't just the chance at extra income, it's financial peace of mind. And that's worth every penny. So don't wait. Give Jeff Clark Trader a try right now. And remember, if you're not thrilled, you pay nothing. So you still have a full 60 days to figure it out. And that makes the decision a whole lot easier. Especially considering how this one small step could completely transform your financial future. You know, it happened to me when I started trading options almost 40 years ago. And now it's your chance. Click the button on your screen now, and I'll see you inside Jeff Clark Trader.